Hello, everybody. It is just about 12. We are going to get started here. We're going to do a live video with a wonderful guest today, Mina, the Graves' Disease Chef. I'm pretty excited about that. I'm going to start looking for her. Hello, Silver Girl next door. I'm going to wave. Well, I can a few minutes. Once we get talking, waving will not be as easy for me to do. That's just how that is sometimes. All right, let's see here. We're trying to get her live. Let's see, go live.
Do a couple quick like housekeeping things. First of all, I want to tell you that this happens every Wednesday. We're doing these ageless moments. Let's see here. There we go. Hi, Mina.
Hi, Robin.
How are you today?
I'm well. It's really hot here.
I hear I've got a fan going myself. It's pretty warm where I'm at. So.
Oh my gosh. Yes, it's supposed to be 105 today.
Oh yeah, no, you beat me. You win. You win. You win. Hey, I was doing a quick little bit of housekeeping, telling everybody that we do this Ageless Lounge every Wednesday at noon Mountain Standard Time. And if you're interested, everybody, if you head over to tanglesilvermagazine.com and look at our events page, we actually also this week, tomorrow night, are doing our Silver Social, which is focused kind of on the reinvention piece of what happens beyond the silver hair, right? Because so many of us
That's right.
changes as that happens. So feel free to join us over there as well. But I want to dive into all this good stuff with Mina. And so let's get in there. Oh, wait, one other thing I want to do, I want to say thank you to Sensationally Silver and to I Embrace, some of our partners that help make sort of this stuff happen for us to be able to come in front of all you beauties and talk. So, Mina, let's start with this. I have the first thing I want to start before we really dive into all the healthy, juicy pieces you have for us. When I say to you that I believe you are an ageless and timeless woman, what does that mean to you?
Okay, so our connection isn't so great, which is terrible because I'm in California now, not in the Philippines, and we have a worse connection. Okay, say the question again. I'm sorry, Robin. What does ageless and?
What does being an ageless and timeless woman mean to you?
To me, that's a great question. Gosh, for me, it actually just really means learning to embrace your life and the beauty of it and just go with the flow, go with it. You know, just because someone says, oh, you shouldn't wear that, you shouldn't act like that, you shouldn't do that. I don't believe that. I don't believe in that philosophy at all.
Yay, I love it. I love it.
At all. We are ageless. We're timeless, you know, and
right?
yeah, and so yeah.
Yeah, and we have to embrace that, right? We have to really embrace that piece of it.
Absolutely.
We can't stop it, so why not embrace it and celebrate
it? Absolutely. I mean, look at our community. We have the most beautiful, amazing, and I always share this. It still leaves me in awe how beautiful our community is. Like really, truly.
Yes. The soul connections. I mean, when people say, oh, no, really can that happen online? It's like, yes. Within this community, yes, it does. And you and I are a perfect example of that. We have not ever met in person, but we are so connected through what started as just a silver hair following, right?
It's so true. It's so true. It's true. So yeah, I love it. I love the whole idea of aging and you know, just learning so many things about what happens to us on this journey. Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, and that's kind of a great segue into what we're going to talk about today, which is I kind of want to do a quick little intro and then have you kind of fill in some of the details.
Sure.
Because a lot of us kind of run into all these things, and things are happening and life is changing. And we said we were going to talk about, finding your way to health through food, right? Well, also finding your instincts. Because for me and everybody, really resonating with her because she got diagnosed with Graves' disease,
right,
and was told that she was going to have her thyroid removed. I mean, that's a pretty scary thing to be told.
Yeah.
And somewhere in her gut from our conversation, she was like, I just knew there had to be another way. So I would like Mina to share her other way and how that has so changed what you're experiencing.
It has. Oh my gosh, so much. So I got diagnosed. I should back up, actually. For those who don't know what Graves' disease is, it's basically, to put it very simply, it's very complicated, but to put it simply, your immune system, which is supposed to protect you, actually thinks it's under attack. So it starts to attack your thyroid. And then your body basically goes wackadoo. And the symptoms include things like rapid, unhealthy weight loss and hair loss, insomnia. I mean, it's just a very, very long list. Anxiety through the roof, heart palpitations, high blood pressure, low libido. And the worst part is it's all happening at the same time. And so I finally got diagnosed. My doctor did not know what was wrong with me because I went in for my physical in April of 2015. And then I was great. I was healthy, flying colors, labs are great. And then when a month passed to the day, I was so sick. And I didn't know what happened. At first, my doctor, I went in to see him, and he said, I think you have the flu. And I said, I don't have the flu. I don't even have a fever. But my heart was like pounding out of my chest, and my blood pressure through the roof. I mean, it was literally over 200 for blood pressure at a sitting state. And so that's when he said, I started talking about our family history. And I had said to him, so this is a very important point to make. It's really important that your medical records actually do reflect your family history.
Amen to that.
Yeah, because it didn't indicate that my older sister has Graves' disease. Okay, so I happened to mention it to him, and he said, "Oh, you are exhibiting a number of the symptoms." He said, "I'm going to send you to a specialist." So we did, and I was so sick. I was terribly sick, and the doctor looked at me before we even ran the tests, and she said, "Yeah, your primary is probably right. We're going to get you tested." So I went through ultrasounds and MRIs and lab work. It detected that. So I went to see her, and this is what she said to me right out of the gate. You definitely have Graves' disease, and we're going to have to remove your thyroid. I was like, what? Are you kidding? And she said, no, we either have to start radiation treatment, right, which is a radioactive iodine, or if that, short of that, we're going to have to remove your thyroid. You're terribly sick. And I said, no, you can't do that, right? And long story short, this went on every visit I had. I was still sick. She put me on medication, which, mind you, 3 weeks into the medication, I was put on methimazole. 3 weeks in, I broke out. My entire lower extremities had an allergic reaction. I had welts all over my body. It was horrible, and it was painful and itchy, and I called her, and she said, get off the medication. And I thought, well, of course, this is terrible. It's poison, right? So that's when I knew I had to figure out, there's the title of my guidebook, there had to be another way. Instinctively, I knew I had to figure it out because I was not, and I was not going to go through surgery. I was not willing to let go of my thyroid. And I've shared this with you before. I was given a thyroid for a reason. We all were. It serves a very major function. It is such a major organ in our body. I'm not going to get into the technical, but it's so important that we do what we can and we try to figure it out. And so I did. And that is when a year later, because I literally got sick and tired of feeling so sick and tired of just being exhausted all the time, always feeling my blood pressure spiking, that I adopted a plant-based lifestyle.
And that's what we're really here to talk about, because you still have your thyroid. You have not gone through that surgery.
No.
And anybody has seen you dancing and performing and doing your little dances, you look amazing. Nobody could tell you have Graves' disease with the way you're out there dancing, your energy. I mean, all the things you told us that are supposed to be.
You're so funny.
I mean, you have made these changes with your amazing changes to going to a plant-based life, right?
Yeah.
A lifestyle. And your recipes are amazing. I mean, everybody, if you're not getting the magazine, she shares them with us in her magazine.
Yes,
She also has an amazing Christmas that she just came out. I mean, yes,
I did.
You're spot on. I think you're amazing.
Oh, Robin, thank you. No, I just have to say, you have to listen to your body. That's like number one for just all of us. It's not just those of us who are suffering for an autoimmune disease. You need to know your body, and when something doesn't feel right, figure it out. There's ways to figure it out. And so I was able to do that. And so I ended up writing, two books. One is a guidebook that actually walks Graves' disease patients through all the steps that I took. And I just saw it. Yes, it is a total game changer. I see your notes coming through.
Yep.
As I'm trying to focus on Robin. But it is. It changed.
It's hard to see the notes and focus on the conversation. That's why everybody know that we are watching you.
Yes.
Sending you love for but there's no way that I can talk and type at the same time. That's just
right?
not one of my skill levels.
Yes, that's how
we see you.
Yes, it's good. It's good to see the hearts, the love that's coming through. Thank you. We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
But yes, when you talk about intuition and instinct, it is so important to learn to just listen to your body. Our body talks to us. It tells us, when we have a headache, okay, why do I have a headache? What did I eat that might have caused it? Anyway, you just have to listen to your body. And I figured out, yes, there had to be another way. And so I basically walk patients who are not just suffering from Graves' disease, but people who have autoimmune diseases. I walk them through the steps that I took. And it isn't going to work for everybody. It's not the end all be all, but it's a start to how to start to listen and how to start getting better, feeling better, and then staying better. Because even once you're in remission, and I also share this, once you're in remission, doesn't mean you get to stay there. It's remission, which means you have to keep doing what you're doing and taking care of paying attention to what you're feeding your body,
Right. So let's talk more about that piece, the feeding the body piece, because like some people go, oh, I can't go to a plant-based diet. I'll get bored with it. Or how can I honestly, the recipes, what will it be like?
Right.
Because like I had recreated some of your recipes that you shared, the crab cake one, for example. It is absolutely amazing, right? I mean, it is not crab.
No.
It is so wonderfully delicious.
Thank
and again,
you.
I felt
that's in the cookbook.
Something that was healthy. Yep. So share with us kind of what was it that really made you lean into plant-based? I mean, what was it that kind of really triggered that for you?
Okay. We were already eating very healthy before I got sick. We had already adopted organic. I'm a big fan of organic, and mind you, not all organic is good for you, and I do talk about this in the cookbook and the guidebook. But we had already been eating organic, and when I say organic, I was still a carnivore, so I was eating, organic beef, organic chicken, wild-caught seafood, and I wasn't really eating a lot of vegetables, but the vegetables that I was eating or were eating was organic, and I could go on and on about organic. And what ended up happening, I was still sick and I still wasn't feeling well. So my youngest son, Marco, in fact, had said to me, Mama, this was a year later after I got diagnosed, how did he put this? When you no longer want to feel like bleep, starts with S, ends in T, you'll stop eating bleep. And I was a little offended. What do you know? He's vegan, by the way, he's vegan. And he said to me, you know what I'm talking about. And I said, Marco, I already eat organic. Everything we consume in this house is organic. He goes, yeah, but clearly it's not enough because look at how you feel. You're exhausted all the time and you haven't even done anything, today. And so he was right. And so that is when I decided, okay, I need to really think about what he said. So I started researching what it means to be plant-based. And I want to clarify, because I think there's a little bit of confusion what plant-based really means. Plant-based means you're plant-forward, meaning most of your food, your diet, is plants, so greens and root vegetables, mushrooms of every kind, but it does not mean you cannot eat meat. I don't. I'm I'm like a blend of vegetarian vegan, but there are diners who are plant-based that actually still eat organic proteins like meat and chicken, okay? So I just want to put that out there because I think a lot of people think, Sherry,
I know.
do you see her note? Yeah, Sherry, that's what he said, honey. But I don't know if we have any younger people on here or children listening. Anyway, so I just wanted to clarify, I am a blend of vegetarian, vegan, gave up the meat. So my cookbook is specifically plant-based, which means everything is vegetables for the most part, right? And I'm going to just say this because when I literally went cold turkey. I said, I'm listening to my son right now. He is so healthy and he has a very clean diet. So it's about clean and wholesome, and natural. And when I say natural, I mean grown from the ground, not lab created. Okay.
In other words,
So
key things that is a piece of it, right? Like,
yeah. Yes, in fact, it's so important. When I share about reading labels, make sure you're reading labels. Just because something says natural doesn't mean that's good for you. Because when it's usually on a label, if it didn't grow from the ground, it is not natural. Natural on those packagings actually means it was lab created. So that's kind of a no-no. But back to plant-based. So I went cold turkey and I decided I'm giving up meat. I'm not, no more meat, no more chicken, no more poultry, no more pork, no more seafood. I'm going to try this and see if it works. So I did. I just started taking the recipes that I'd already been cooking, right? And using plants instead of it. So instead of beef, I was using portobello mushrooms. And there's such a range of healthy mushrooms. There's lion's mane, there's oyster, there's just a whole family of mushrooms. So I switched to that. And then for things like poultry, I adopted tempeh, which is fermented soybean. And I have to do a class on this sometime just to explain all this instead of taking up our time with Ageless Lounge.
right.
But I was able to recreate my recipes, redevelop them. And here's the best part. 6 months in, we did my labs. And my endocrinologist said, your numbers are improving. What are you doing? And I told her I changed my diet. And she said, that has nothing to do with it. Diet has nothing to do with it. And I looked at her like, okay, well, but my numbers are better. She goes, no, 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 no. Trust me, it doesn't. Okay. And before the appointment ended, she said to me, but you do need to decide when you're ready to have your thyroid removed. Okay. This went on and on and on and on, for about a year and a half. And every visit, I went to see her every 3 months. My labs kept getting better and better and better and better until they were completely normal. They were completely perfect. And she said, I think you're in remission now. So
So that to
I
me
know.
that to me is such a key piece of you stood your ground, right? Your doctor, who is the medical
Correct.
professional or whatever expert is
Yes,
telling you something.
yes,
Sometimes
yes.
we give them so much credit because they have the degrees, And I don't
Yeah,
doubt that they don't know what they're doing, but again,
for sure.
they don't know your body, right? They don't know what your body is telling you. And I love that
Absolutely.
you just totally listen to you. You listen to your instincts, your gut, and you did what you needed to do. And I love that you also say, like, you're not saying it's going to work for everybody, that it worked for
It's not.
you.
Yes.
And I think that hope. And you also said that not everybody has to give up everything. Like, since connecting with you, we've gone from a household who ate meat almost every single night to now a household where we're about 50-50, right? Like, we do more plant-based meals now than we have ever done. And I do feel better for it. I feel different for it. I feel like
Yes.
that's part of my journey.
Yes. Yes. That's beautiful, Robin. Oh my gosh. I love hearing that. I
Although
do.
I will tell you, I love the crab recipe, but it was hilarious to my husband because he is definitely the meat eater in our house.
Yes.
And when we tried it, we did it. I did dinner. I had my daughter and my husband here, and they both tried it. My husband was like, "I don't know about this. This is not crab." I'm like, well, no, it's not. It's crab cake,
Yes.
but it's not crab. It's plant based. And my daughter was like, "Okay, it's not crab, Dad, but this is amazingly good." I mean, it was so tasty. But again, it is. You have to also kind of get over that some of that, like when you're saying what you replace some of the things with. You have to also be open to the new experiences that you're going to get, right?
Yes.
If I went into it going, oh, it's going to taste just like crab cake, like I
Correct.
would get on the East Coast, then I might be disappointed. But I went into it just going, no, oh my gosh, it's for Mina. It's going to be amazing, whatever it is. It's going to be
Oh.
amazing, and it was.
Well, I want to comment about that because here's what I want to share. This is what I learned on this whole plant-based journey, and that is we season our meat, our chicken, our seafood, right? Most of us. I mean, I've had like carpaccio or steak tartare, and it's totally rare in the past. But what I want to share is that we season those proteins, those foods. It's the same thing we do with plants because you're not going to eat a slab of meat that hasn't been seasoned or a chicken breast or a chicken thigh. You're not going to eat it plain necessarily unless that's what you enjoy, right?
Right.
It's super plain. So you do the same thing with the plants. You season it, you flavor it. And I know this is crazy, but this is actually in the cookbook. I developed a recipe. I used to love hot dogs, but I know they're really bad for us with all the nitrates and all the, mystery meat. So I actually created a recipe of carrot dogs. It tastes just like a hot dog,
Huh.
but it's a carrot.
So I'm
So,
gonna I'm gonna I'm gonna interrupt real quick because we got several people coming up on how to get the cookie board. I get it. So we'll be sure to mention that to you, but you can always go over to the Graves Disease stuff.
yes, thegravesdiseasechef.com. Yes.
That's where you can find her cookbook. And you guys, I'll tell you, her recipes are amazing.
Oh,
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Valerie.
Somebody just shared it for us online.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Valerie.
the silver curl next door. Thank you so much, Valerie, for sharing that for us. That makes it so much easier. So neither Mina and I can type and talk at the same time right now.
I know. But yeah, so did I answer the question? I think yes.
Yes, I think you did. I think you did. So if somebody is just thinking about getting them going with this and adding stuff, what would you suggest as some of the good starting points for them as far as leaning more into that plant based? The things that might be easier if somebody has been totally, I'm so anti-vegetable, I can't stand green beans. Like, what would you kind of suggest for them to be their starting point?
Okay, well, to start, I would try to figure out what uh, is your favorite vegetable. Start with that. Start small, just to get comfortable with the idea of it. So if spinach is your favorite veggie or broccoli, then introduce those more in your diet, right? And as far as things like, because everyone says, well, I miss my meat. Well, there are fabulous things you can do with mushrooms. If you have an aversion to mushrooms, because I know that some people do, then, there's so many other, you can, okay, let me think here. I know this is going to sound crazy, but tempeh. I don't know if people know what tempeh is, the viewers out there. Scream yes if you do, but it's fermented soybean, and it's so good for you. It's high in protein. It's not tofu. I don't do tofu. tofu is too high in estrogen, and it's actually really not good for us, especially if you have Graves' disease. Soy products are not good for you if you have Graves. And so you basically start by just experimenting. Take your favorite steak recipe. Portobello's is summertime, are amazing on the grill. You marinate it, super easy recipe. Ready? Balsamic vinegar, smashed garlic, and olive oil. Okay? Salt and pepper. Give it a splash of your favorite Cajun seasoning. If you want it Italian, throw in some Italian blend, oregano maybe. If you want it Thai, then a little bit of umami, right? Put some nori on there. There's so many, just marinate it for about a half an hour, tops. Throw it on the grill. You have the most amazing flavored portobello steak, and it's plant-based. So like anyone can ask me any recipe. I don't know if anybody wants to do that. And I'll share something with you. Name your favorite vegetable, and I'll tell you what you can do with it. or message me, And so so the point is you just start with your favorite vegetables and start seasoning them the way you would season your favorite protein, whether it's meat or whether it's chicken or fish or shrimp or crab cakes.
Okay, we have somebody. Let's shout out real quick. We have somebody who said
eggplant.
Their favorite vegetable.
Yes, hi Heidi. Okay, so answer me this: do you want an Italian version, an Asian version, or American? Because I can tell you just yes. Hi, are you there? Okay, so let me just throw out here's a fun Japanese recipe for eggplant. Okay, so you just take, she's Italian. Okay, Italian. Okay, you got it. All right, so what you want to do will be really quick. Take your eggplant. If it's an Italian eggplant, that's much smaller than an American eggplant. Okay, so it's going to sound crazy, but you want to take off the skin, right? Because it cooks faster and it's more tender. You don't always have to do this because I do like the skin as well. Lots of vitamins and minerals in that skin. So you just cube it, okay? Turn your oven on, preheat your oven to, I always go 375, 350, 375. I can't do the translation, Heidi, because I know you're in Denmark, I think. And so you do the translation from 375. So you chop up those cubed eggplant, right? If you want a little bit of color, throw in some bell peppers and what else? Some zucchini squash. Cube it up. Take a drizzle of olive oil, about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Toss it, salt and pepper. Grab your favorite Italian spice blend. If you don't have it, I would recommend about a teaspoon of oregano, a teaspoon of thyme, and a teaspoon of dried basil. All dried ingredients because we don't always have fresh. And toss it all together. Did I say salt and pepper? And then smash up garlic. Smash that garlic. And here's a tip about garlic. I should never get on a food thing because I'm just going to go. Okay, so smash up that garlic. But before you put the garlic in, let it sit for 10 minutes before you throw it into your mixed vegetables. Okay, let it sit for 10 minutes because here's why. It releases a compound called allicin. When you release that compound, your body gets antibacterial, antifungal, anti-inflammation. It's fabulous. Don't cook the garlic immediately. Let it rest for 10 minutes. After it's been 10 minutes, smash it, smash it and then throw it into your vegetables. Roast for, I would say about 40 minutes. Toss it in between, and then when it comes out, toss some fresh basil on it, right? And what does that fresh garlic mix? Yes, it does, Sherry. And just toss it all together. That's right. You can never have, no, I am a garlic fiend. I love garlic. If my recipes in the cookbook show not 2 tablespoons, if it shows 2 to 3 cloves, I always double it. But then I don't want people to get offended by too much garlic. So there, Heidi, is the recipe. So just take it out, get some crunchy French bread or Italian bread, excuse me, and a little bit of olive oil on that, and you have lunch or dinner, depending on what you want. And that's a fun eggplant recipe. Actually, I do have a lot of eggplant recipes in the book because we love eggplant. We love eggplant. We love all vegetables.
So I want to just kind of reconfirm. So what we're telling everybody here literally is that if somebody tells you you can't change anything with your diet, that you are living proof that you can. You know, it may not work for everybody, but listen to your instincts. If
Yes.
your gut is telling you something, guys, for many women, I think sometimes we hear something in the inside telling us to do something, but then there's all these logical reasons why we shouldn't be listening to what our gut tells us. And so we make choices that go along with the norm, right? Or go along with other people's norms. And then we end up going, wait a minute, why did I do that? Kind of like with our silver journeys. Like if we were all listening to the norm, none of us would be going silver right now, right? So I mean,
Yes, it's so true. It's so true.
Yes.
Yes.
We need to define our health, define our beauty on our own terms, what works for us individually, and not worry about everybody else. That's what becoming ageless is all about, right?
Absolutely. I cannot agree with you more, Robin, about that. I started off, this journey was here. And the friends, and I mean friends that we have made on here, like lifetime friendships that will last forever, till the end of time, that because it started off with our hair, but then it wasn't just the hair. And speaking of hair and Graves' disease, really quick thing, I learned during this journey that hair dyes, which you and I have talked about ad nauseum so many times, is that there's literally over 5,000 toxic chemicals in hair dyes. And one of those chemicals is called resorcinol. And that actually affects your endocrine system. So it was another reason I said, you know, aside from plant-based, aside from exercise, aside from getting sunshine, there are literally so many things you can do. And one of them, to get better from Graves' disease, one of them was embracing my silvers and ditching the dyes. That was big. And so here we are.
And here we are. And again, like you said, I mean, just to reiterate, there's so much going on, so much. I hope that you will take away from this conversation with Mina and I to reach out and get her cookbook, or at least if you're not following her, you better start following her today. After you get off of here and go right to her Instagram account and follow it. Go over to her website and check her out. If you're not following us, join us here as well. I mean, this is what it's about. It's a community of women coming together, inspiring each other, uplifting each other in all different ways, not just about hair. In this case, we're taking away some great stuff about why we need to listen to ourselves and that we can heal ourselves. So if somebody tells you you can't heal yourself, I mean, I don't want to say we can heal everything because obviously that doesn't always happen. But if you at least step in and listen to yourself and try, then at least you can say you tried, right? And that's and little changes help. My husband's diabetes numbers are down. I believe that is truly about our diet. So, I mean, all these things are fabulous. And I just, again, Mina's one of my favorite gals. She's one of our She Pack writers, so she regularly contributes to the magazine. And I hope that you can just join her and I on these journeys moving forward and get her cookbook, everybody.
Yes, I would love that. Yes. And, okay, little perk. When you buy the cookbook, most of us don't ever actually know the author.
Right.
You know, you buy the cookbook and you don't really know the author. But this author, you'll know. Why? Because I'll be right here on Instagram, and I'm happy to answer any questions about the cookbook or about the journey,
so
you know.
I do have one other quick question that just came in from the Dual Silver Journey, and she's asking, when on a plant-based diet, do you feel lethargic and do you need to take vitamins?
That's a great question. That's a great question because with Graves' disease, wait, was the question plant-based? On a plant-based?
Yes,
no.
On a plant-based diet.
Yeah. Not at all. In fact, no, I didn't. I don't know if you tune into my Instagram, but I'm always dancing. I have so much energy. And here's the thing. When I went plant-based, your energy level actually increases because you're feeding your body with all these healthy, wholesome, clean ingredients that are not holding you down. You know, they're not making you feel sluggish and, oh, I ate too much, and ugh. You actually feel really good. So now this girlfriend has lots of energy, but I do take vitamins, but all of my vitamins are plant-based also. I don't take vitamins that have a bunch of fillers, the kind you buy at the drugstore. That's not in my regimen. It's all plant-based vitamins. So I do both, but I feel pretty wonderful. I know the author. Sandy.
That's awesome. And you're a lucky person to get to know this author.
That's beautiful.
We try to keep these somewhat, quick and short, so we're not taking up too many people's time, especially with your
Yes.
show. We so appreciate you giving us our time. Again, Mina's for you. Reach out to her with questions. Reach out to me with questions. I mean, we look forward to developing. So I am going to put a challenge out there for everybody. I'm going to ask everybody, try and add more plant-based meals to your weekly menu. And what I would love for you to do is, if you do it, especially if you are using a recipe from Mina, share it on her Facebook and tag me, or share it on mine and tag her, and let us know what recipes you're trying. Because I think that would be really fun to see how we are all embracing adding plant-based into our life. Even if you're not giving up, you don't have to give up meat. Mina's not telling you to give it up, but we're telling you just try adding a little more plant-based.
Yes.
And have fun with those recipes. Because you heard Mina tell you herself, she's been able to convert her recipes to wonderful plant-based things without giving up taste and delight. So
you're giving me goosebumps. You're giving me goosebumps. Like, really, I'm so excited to hear that. I hope people will take you up on that challenge, because your body will thank you.
You and I will start reminding them to take us up on that challenge and join us, you guys. Let's add more plant-based and keep rocking our silvers and rocking midlife. And thank you, ladies, for joining us on the Ageless Lounge today. We'll see some of you tomorrow over at the Silver Social, and if not, maybe next week at the next Ageless Lounge. Love you all.
Yeah, love you. Love you guys. Bye, Robin. Thank you.
See you later, Mina. Love you. Bye.
I love you too. Bye.